Good morning. This is Jill Lindholm, licensed alcohol and drug counselor. It is currently February 7th, and today I would like to do a blog, but before I start on the blog, I wanted to show you something here. I'm not sure if you can read it or not, but I kind of found this online, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's called the Addiction Healing Prayer. And this is how that goes. Beloved God, of your choosing, of course, please help me recognize more joy in my life so that I do not have to seek false and short-lived fulfillment through my addictions. Aid me in truly feeling my emotions so I am no longer numb to my worldly experience. Assist me in forgiving abuse that I have suffered in my past. Help me connect with the wise part of myself that is passionate about my life's purpose and gifts I have to share. And most of all, assist me in seeing the greatness of my soul and remind me that I am worthy of true abundance. I thought that was pretty cool, so I wanted to share that with you today. Blog 38 today is going to be on the topic, what I've called it is making amends. And what I mean by that is making amends is more than an apology. That's the full title of that. We need to remember that nobody's perfect, and yes, we're all human, and we're all bound to be making mistakes through our lives. That's human nature. And these stumbling blocks and errors in judgment often help to mold us. Our characters are built from our experiences, both good and bad, and of course there's no shame in admitting that we're wrong, right? Making amends is a part of life, and it takes a strong person to owe up to their mistakes. However, wrongdoings as a result of alcohol or drug addiction cannot be forgiven with a simple, "I'm sorry." Addiction recovery is a long and hard road, as addiction has the ability to warp people's morals and leave behind a trail of torn relationships. Making amends in recovery is a necessary process for any addict, but it's important to know how and why you need to do it. What is the difference between making an apology and making amends? There is actually a huge difference between making amends with someone and merely giving them an apology. While a sincere apology is a crucial part of making amends, an apology alone is simply not enough to undo the irreversible pain and heartache that one's addiction or actions during that addiction may have actually caused the other person. Making amends, however, is a way for an addict to work towards restoring goodwill as much as they can. This can be done in a direct way, like replacing an item that you broke, or in an indirect way, a symbolic way, for example, such as taking part in volunteer work. The most important part of making amends is to ensure you undertake a complete change in your own behavior and a whole new approach to how you live your life. So there are a few different types of amends that I want to point out here for you. There are 3 different ways in which you can make amends. The first one, of course, is what we call a direct amends. And that would involve taking personal responsibility for your actions and confronting the person who you would like to reconcile with. This takes a lot of courage, as you would need to discuss openly and honestly the reason for your actions and try together to find a solution as to how you can compensate that person. For example, if you had stolen money from a person, you would start by giving it back. You must try to the best of your abilities to replace, repair, or reimburse the person you hurt, as well as understand that much of the damage caused by your addiction may not be physically possible to reverse. The second one to look at is indirect amends. These are ways that you will be able to repair damage that cannot be reversed or undone. In cases like these, you would work towards redemption by selfless acts or indirect amends. For example, if you injured someone else in a bike accident while intoxicated, you could volunteer at a handicap school, register to become an organ donor, do something of service, basically. And then number 3, we have living amends. Living amends is the best way to show others, as well as yourself, that you have changed to become a better person than you used to be. This requires a genuine lifestyle change and makes a lifelong promise to yourself and those that you have hurt that you will discard your previous destructive behaviors. How do you make amends? When making amends, a well thought out strategy is very crucial. So you will need to prepare your approach step by step in the following way. For example, step 1 on this: evaluate the extent of your wrongdoings in order to obtain a proper perspective of your mistakes. You will need to step out of your comfort zone and try to see your actions from the angle of the person affected, not your own. Develop empathy will have you to understand how you have wronged that person, why it hurt them, and how you might be able to make it better. The second step in this: give them a carefully worded apology. In order for your apology to work, it will need to be sincere and relate directly to the basis of the matter. You must address the mistake itself to show the person that you understand what you did was wrong. You must also address how it affected the person and emphasize that you do understand why they are upset with you. Be sure to express how much you value your relationship with them and tell them you do not want to lose it. Hold yourself accountable and do not allow yourself to deflect the blame or make excuses for your actions. Step 3, suggest ways to build and repair your relationship. Damage control, remember, is going to take some time, and trust has to be earned, but slowly the right actions and activities will help to restore their faith in you. Organizing quality time with that person is also a great way to show how much they mean to you. Step 4 on this: avoid making the same mistake over again. By re-examining your mistakes, you'll be able to uncover the reasons why you made them, and they will help to keep you from repeating them. If you find that you are prone to making these mistakes when you are surrounded by certain people, maybe you might want to consider changing the company that you're going to keep. So why is it important to make amends? When dealing with addiction, making amends is a vital part of your personal growth and healing, not only for you, but also for the people that you have hurt. Addiction can often destroy friendships, ruin work relationships, and tear families apart. By making amends, you will have a chance to reconnect with people who you have negatively affected or hurt as a result of your addiction. But it's not going to be easy work. You may feel vulnerable or anxious, or you may be afraid of rejection for those who you are trying to make up with. The benefits of amends are numerous, however, and they are worth fighting for. Reconciliation is a key step toward recovery, and if you choose not to make amends with the people you've wronged, you'll be cutting yourself off from future opportunities. By choosing to be honest and to be humble when addressing your mistakes, the doors leading towards your recovery will open a little bit wider, and a sense of closure and peace will begin to grow inside of you. So keep watering that inner garden that you have inside of you, because remember, recovery is a process. Untangle the weeds one day at a time, make amends, and you will definitely reap the benefits. And one thing I want to remind you guys here too, when you do make amends, I know it's step work, but it's important because it doesn't only have to be 12 steps. Please remember, if the amend is going to harm the person more, you may want to reconsider that. And you can research that information further, but amends and apologies are to try to help heal not only the people that you wronged, but also to heal yourself. You don't want to cause greater harm in any situation. And with that, I will close with blog 38. Making amends is more than an apology. Counselor out, Jill.